The movie begins with some weird message saying there are underground passages in the entire of America. Oh, I'm already hooked, really. Then there is a TV commercial about a campaign to end hunger with some people taking hands all over the country. It looks like a Charles Manson cult propaganda, to be honest. Join the Manson family. You'll love it. Then scenes change and there is a family at a carnival and a sign says it's 1986. We discover that it's this little girl's birthday and her father just won a Michael Jackson t-shirt for her. It seems that the couple is divorced because they seem quite distant. Oh yeah, and the father is fucking shit-faced. He doesn't seem violent at all, but he's making a bit of a fool of himself, to be honest. Like me, every time I send a meme to my crush and they tell me they've already seen it. Son of a bitch. Well, then the mother goes to the bathroom and tells the father to look after the little child. The father's like, yeah, go do your stuff, I'll be watching for her. But instead, he plays whack-a-mole. Then, of course, the girl leaves, and then there's this weird guy with some Bible passage written on a cardboard sign. The girl descends to the beach, then gets inside a house of mirrors. Then the lights go off and she tries to escape, but oh god, that's not a reflection at all. The girl finds someone identical to her, but before we can see her face, the scene changes to a 3-minute long scene showing some rabbits inside some cages. God, I swear, it's 3 minutes long. If I want to watch some rabbits for 3 minutes nonstop, I just look for a rabbits collection on YouTube, or my mom shares me a video from Facebook. Screw you! Finally, the rabbit part ends and we see a sign saying present day, and a family of 4 driving to their summer house. Then they're having dinner and Gabe, the father, proposes to go to Santa Cruz Beach later, and everyone's excited except for Adelaide, the mother, who seems traumatized, and so we can conclude she's the little girl at the beginning of the movie. Anyway, not much happens except for Jason the kid playing with a lighter, believing he's the Human Torch, I guess, and Zora, her sister, saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Oh yes, and there's a memory of Adelaide when she was a child, and it seems that she'd suffered from post-traumatic stress, and their parents were worried, and the doctor encouraged their parents to let their daughter draw and dance, or whatever, so she could speak about her traumatic experience. Yeah, I think that part was important too. More important than the boy with the lighter? I don't think so. Well, Adelaide accepts going to the beach, but asks to return before it gets too dark. So Adelaide is looking for her son, Jason, who was hiding in the bathroom to scare his sister. Then Jason runs away and hides in some closet, but before that, he leaves an ambulance toy in the door to avoid locking himself in the closet. But his sister's so mad, she locks Jason anyways. There you go, you dumb piece of shit. Hope you like your new room. Meanwhile, Adelaide starts hallucinating because maybe she's high or something, but Jason complains, bring her back to reality. Then the whole family goes out and sees Gabe playing with a brand new boat. Maybe it's one of those drug dealers' boat that everyone wants to have. Damn, Gabe, you're so lucky. Then the family moves to the beach, and everyone's laughing and having fun, and Jason tells Zora to kiss his anus, and everyone's like, what the hell, Jason? But then they laugh, and it's so beautiful until Adelaide starts to remember the horrible night she returned with her parents, all traumatized after seeing another of herself in the mirror. Then it's back to reality again, and we find the guy at the beginning of the movie that had the sign with the Bible inscription, and he's dead. Holy devil, welcome to Santa Cruz. Enjoy your stay. Adelaide is all paranoid, maybe because she's too high, and that's why she's had hallucinations, like paranoia and hallucinations. What are you doing, Adelaide? Why don't you tell us? Well, who cares? But I just wanted to mention that it's a coincidence that they go to the exact same beach where she had the traumatic experience when she was a girl, but hey, otherwise, we have no movie to tell. Then the family meets the other family, and everyone hugs and laughs until Gabe starts talking about his brand new boat, but his friend tells him that he needs to buy a flare gun. So now Gabe's drug dealer's boat is futile. Good job, Gabe. You just had to mess everything up, didn't you? Then all the kids are playing on the beach for a while, and Jason decides to go to the bathroom. Then when he gets out, he finds a weird guy standing in this alpha male position, T-posing, taking all the space because he's so red-pilled and showing who's the boss in this territory. And Jason's like, God damn, I'm so beta with my non-functioning lighter, my Jaws t-shirt, and this Harambe mask. I need to be more like him. So he approaches a stranger, and he discovers the guy has blood on his finger. Oh, you dirty. You're so alpha you even dare to do it when she's on those days, huh? Well, Adelaide realizes Jason's missing, so she freaks out, but the boy appears all chill like, Mom, what the hell? I just want to take a piss for literally 5 minutes, and I was learning alpha stuff like guns, monster trucks, Sailor Moon, and drug dealers' boats, and, getting a Bugatti. So, well, they return home, but Adelaide's still a bit uneasy, so she goes to Jason's room and she tells him she was scared something could have happened to him and that she'll protect him, blah, blah, blah. Then Adelaide finds Jason's drawing about the alpha guy with blood on his fingers, and Adelaide gets uneasy once again. Then Gabe's ready for some action. Just look at him. He's so horny. But Adelaide says she wants to leave, then tells Gabe that story when she was a child and found a clone of herself and freaked out, and that she feels the girl will come for her someday. So the genius of Gabe tries to cheer things up, saying that if a clone of herself appears, he could easily kick her ass. Really, I'm not making this up. He may have a drug dealer as his boat, but he's not alpha at all saying those jokes. Then lights go off and Jason appears and says that there's a family in the driveway. Ooh, creepy. Oh my god, that's terrifying. So Adelaide tries to call the police and they say they'll be in 15 minutes, so she freaks out some more. Then Gabe tries to talk to the family, but no one says a word. They just lay still like clothes store mannequins. So, those things that whenever you hit one, you say, I'm sorry, just before discovering that you were apologizing to a goddamn mannequin. Dumb fuck. Then you think to yourself, oh my god, that was so non-alpha. I'm just a beta, like the idiot of Jason. Anyway, Gabe gets inside and looks for a baseball bat to show who's the real alpha here. But once Gabe threatens the family, one of the members claps their hands and they all start moving. So Gabe gets back inside. Is that Corey Taylor? Seriously, that mask looks like a Slipknot mask. Naturally, the strangers get into the house with the old trick of taking the key from under the rock. Oh, and they also hit Gabe with his own baseball bat, but then everything slows down when the two families meet in the living room to play some Monopoly and drink some tea. Well, in case you haven't noticed it, the other family's a clone, except they dress in red and have, scissors. And that Jason's clone is a Slipknot member. I mean, come on. That mask looks like Corey Taylor's mask from the Dying Song music video. And the rad costume? Come on. They wore those in the first album. He's a Slipknot member, and don't tell me otherwise. Maybe he plays the harmonica. Who knows? Well, Adelaide's clone, known as Red, starts talking, but her voice sounds like crap. Like, if she's been a high school teacher for 3 different lives consecutively. She tells a story about a girl who had a shadow and that they were connected, but when the girl ate, the shadow had to eat raw rabbits, and that when the girl had comfortable toys to play with, the shadow had to play with sharp toys, and then when the girl met a prince, referring to Gabe, the shadow had to marry Abraham, who's Gabe's shadow, and that she had to marry him whether she loved him or not. But it's so painful and cruel to say such a thing. Just look at Abraham's face. He has feelings, you brute! Then the woman tells the girl had a child, but the shadow had a monster called Hombre, which is Zora's shadow. God damn, this woman's a brute. First you ruin your husband's self-esteem, then you say your child's a monster. Anyway, she continues with the story saying that the girl had a second child, in this case Jason, but the shadow had another called Pluto, and that the shadow had to undergo a cesarean operation made with her own hands. Gross! So anyway, the moral of the story is that the shadow hits the girl, so yeah, Adelaide, you're deep down in shit. So, Gabe tries to negotiate with them, but Abraham screams like a monkey, maybe to show how much of an alpha he is. Anyway, they force Adelaide to tether herself to the table. Oh, now I get it. Those masks and red costumes and that police bracelet. It's nothing but a BDSM party, and everyone's playing a character. So sweet. Well, Abraham drugs Gabe with him to the backyard. Then Red tells Zora to run away, and so she runs, and Hombre chases her, and finally Pluto and Jason go to play, I guess. So Jason takes Pluto to the closet to show him one of his tricks. I wonder what that could be. Pluto lights a match, and oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that he loves fire. Jason tries to do the same with his weak-ass lighter until he discovers that Pluto does the same movements as he does. Like, how? That makes no sense. Well, both Pluto and Jason remove their masks, and ouch, Pluto's face is half burned. In the meantime, we found Zora running away and hiding behind a car, but Hombre finds her. She gets on top of the car, but the owner of the car appears all pissed off. Zora takes the opportunity and keeps on running, but Hombre just kills the guy without hesitation. Then we see Red pushing Adelaide's head against the glass table, and then Gabe inside a bag, while Abraham is driving the narco boat who knows where. While the boat stops functioning, so Gabe seizes the opportunity to escape and throw Abraham out of the boat, but the stupid guy falls into the water too when the boat starts running again. So, back to Jason. He escapes and locks Pluto in the closet, so Red goes to see what's going on, and Adelaide takes this moment to grab a stick and break the table's leg and free herself. Then, back again to Gabe, where he's reaching the boat, but Abraham appears from the water and tries to kill him with the scissors. But Gabe's so alpha and witty, he gets the motor running again, and the propeller slashes Abraham's in half, and here we have the first killing in the movie. Nice! Adelaide takes Jason, and they escape to the car, but she doesn't have the keys. Then, coincidence! Zora appears from nowhere. They all run to the pier where Gabe was waiting for them with the drug dealer's boat. Yay, they escaped! So that's the end of the movie, and oh, no, it goes on. Then the scene switches to Josh's home. No, not Josh Home from Queens of the Snow Age, although they kind of look alike a bit. Josh is Gabe's friend, the one that thinks every boat should have a flare gun, otherwise it's not a real alpha boat. Yeah, well, Josh is chilling out until his wife tells him that she's heard some steps on the outside outside. Josh is like, chill the hell out, then asks Ophelia, an Alexa-like assistant, to put on some Beach Boys music. But then their daughter appears to ask, what's happening? And Josh like, chill the hell out, you're all paranoid and freaking out. But out of nowhere, the twins' shadow appears and kills them all. Then Josh's shadow and her wife's shadow appear too, and now everyone's dead. Well, not really, except for Josh's wife, who's choking in her own blood, and asks Ophelia to call the police, but Ophelia says, alright then, playing Fuck the Police by NWA. And she dies. Listening to one of the greatest rap songs in history. Seriously, I know you barely take what I say as a fact, but this scene I didn't make up. It's so hilarious. Well, the family arrives at Josh's home, not the one from Queens of the Stone Age, I mean Josh's house, to ask for help. But surprise, everyone's dead. Adelaide's hit Josh's clone with a stick, but doesn't kill him. So the clones take Adelaide inside, the kids run away, and Gabe persuades Josh's shadow to get inside his boat so he can kill him. But the kids ended up being the alphas themselves, and they dare enter their house to save their mother, but oh god, one of the twins appears, but Zora blows her head and falls from the first floor. Then Zora beats the hell out of the other one. Cool, wow, okay, Zora, just chill out a bit. Anyway, how's Gabe doing? Oh, he's hiding inside Josh's boat. Oh, yeah, the flare gun. Go for it, Gabe. Oh, you fail. Good job, Gabe. Anyway, spoiler alert, Gabe killed Josh's shadow. So, what happens with Adelaide? Well, she's tied to a bed for some BDSM fun, and Zora tries to kill Josh's wife clone, but she fails, and when she's about to kill Zora, bam, Jason hits the clone with a piece of metal or something. Well, now that every clone is dead, the family gathers at a table to play some Ludo, maybe? Relax? Hey, after all, it's summer holidays. Alright, they just try to figure out what happens next. Then Jason asks how many clones are there gonna be, and Adelaide's like, wait a minute, you're right! So they turn on the TV and they watch the news, and turns out the entire country's under attack by these red dress maniacs, and they all gather hands like a damn death cult, or like Teletubbies parties or something. So Adelaide says they should escape to Mexico, but Gabe wants to stay in that house and set some traps like in Home Alone. Like, he literally says that. And Adelaide's like, oh my god, tell me you didn't have to reference Home Alone at this moment. It's so funny. Anyway, they ended up deciding to move to Mexico, so when Adelaide goes to take the car keys, bam, one of the twins who are alive jumps and attacks Adelaide, and it's terrible. I understand that she's a different kind of human, but why does everything have to act like a zombie from Left 4 Dead? What's the point of exaggerating everything? Well, Adelaide kills the twin with some scissors, and off they go. Zora decides to drive, but her evil clone appears in front of her, so Zora tries to run over her with the car, but she jumps into the car roof, so Zora pushes the brakes, and Umbre flies. Well, kind of. She dies eventually. Then they drive all day long and find everyone's dead. Their corpses lying on the street and everything. Now this truly feels like a zombie apocalypse and a Left 4 Dead 2 kind of stuff. Well, they pop into a burning car, and then Pluto appears out of nowhere, and just look at him. The red custom, the white mask, the burning car. Tell me this isn't a Slipknot music video. Tell me it isn't. Well, Jason realizes it's a trap, and we see the car has a leak, so we guess that's Pluto trying to burn the car in like the music video of All Out Life. Come on, this thing couldn't get more Slipknot. But then Jason starts controlling Pluto because, remember, we don't know why, but Pluto and Jason are connected via Bluetooth or some crap. So Pluto imitates Jason's moves. Well, who cares? What's important here is that Jason moves backward until Pluto gets burned by the burning car, but out of nowhere, Red appears and kidnaps Jason. So Adelaide goes to rescue her son, and she goes to the House of Mirrors to seal his fate or some hidden meaning like that. But on the beach, she sees like hundreds of these clones holding hands in their cult-like Teletubby human chain. Well, Adelaide gets into the Mirror's house and starts going down and down and down and down until she reaches some electric stairs. And she goes down again, and all of a sudden she finds half full rooms of rabbits. Maybe she reached one of those back rooms that appears in your dreams? What do you think? So, while Adelaide is having a Silent Hill 4 The Room experience, Gabe and Zora find an ambulance and they decide to wait there. So, Red and Adelaide start fighting like in some creepy dance as if it was the final boss battle of a weird survival horror about doppelgangers with scissors that dress in red and live underground. Well, there are too many silly fighting moments, but in the end, Adelaide kills Red with an iron stick, and by strangling her with a police wrist and breaking her neck. Then Adelaide starts laughing, which only confirms that she's been high the entire movie. I mean, come on, Adelaide, this is no time for laughing. More respect for the dying. Then Adelaide finds Jason and they go to the ambulance, but how did they know Gabe and Zora would be hiding in an ambulance? Anyway, they go who knows where driving in the ambulance, and Jason stole a rabbit because he realized that the red-pilled alpha stuff is brainwashing load of crap, and that if he wants to have a rabbit as a pet, he can. And that's the story of how Jason got rid of his fragile masculinity. At the end of the movie, we find Adelaide remembering the night she saw her clone, and plot twist, Turns out Adelaide always has been the clone. Who would have thought? Who switched lives with the original Adelaide? And it seems that Red had her voice damaged, not because she was some high school teacher, but because the non-original Adelaide, who then grew up as the original Adelaide, choked the original Adelaide, and maybe she damaged her lungs or something. My god, poor girl. This movie turned out to be sad as hell, and I thought seeing Abraham's self-esteem being shattered was sad. The rest is obvious. Adelaide's clone took the original Adelaide's clothes and went to the surface and lived the life the original Adelaide should have lived. Holy devil. I said Adelaide so many times that I'm scared I'm going to call my girlfriend Adelaide instead of her real name the next time I meet her. Oh god. Well, the movie ends with Adelaide staring at Jason, and Jason's like, yeah, I know the truth, you witch. I know what you did. That was not too much alpha of your part. Poor Jason. He's going to need like 10 years of therapy to get over all this stuff. Anyway, that's the end of the movie. Now be an alpha and like and comment on this video. See you next time.